Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the English news from Djibouti channels. We will begin our news today about the headlines. Our titles are: the President of the Republic received his counterpart, the President of Ethiopia, Sahel Warge Zewde. Continental news: more than 400,000 deaths in Europe affected by the COVID-19. Welcome if you join us. The President of the Democratic and Federal Republic of Ethiopia, Mrs. Sahle Work Zewde, at the head of an important delegation of her country, arrived this morning for an official visit of 48 hours in Djibouti. Upon her arrival, the Ethiopian president was welcomed with all honors by the prime minister, member of the government, and ambassador of Ethiopia to Djibouti when she arrived in the airport. After the greetings with the member of the government of Djibouti, who welcomed her at the airport when she arrived, her and her delegations, the first meeting at the VIP lounge between the Ethiopian president and the Prime Minister of Djibouti about the relations ties between Djibouti and Ethiopia. Follow that, the President of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, welcomed her at the presidential palace. Upon her arrival at the presidential palace, the President of Ethiopia was received by the head of state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and after that the anthems of the two countries were played.
Dr. Mohammed Ahmed, Excellency, Madam President, welcome to the Republic of Djibouti.
The president and his counterpart made a review troops meeting with the member of government and representative of diplomatic and consular corps present in Djibouti. Everything was done to welcome the president of Ethiopia. The head of the state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and the President of Ethiopia had a meeting. The exchange focused on bilateral relations and strengthening of bilateral relations between the country. The head of state and his counterpart welcomed the excellent cooperation between the Republic of Djibouti and reaffirmed the determinations to further strengthen them. They also made an overview of the economic and political situations and issues of common interest were raised during the meeting, but also the issues of conflict in Ethiopia, particularly in the Tigray region, and its evolution on the ground were discussed. It should be noted that among the delegation accompanying the Ethiopian president, the Minister of Transport, Mrs. Digmawait Moges, and other senior officials of Ethiopia government. Once the meeting ended, the President of Ethiopia, Mrs. Sahle Work Zewde, expressed joy to be in Djibouti, a country she knew when she was ambassador of Ethiopia in Djibouti.
Président, chers amis, c'est avec beaucoup d'émotion que vous comprendrez aisément que je
Mr. President, dear friends, it is with great emotion that I speak with you. I am here in Djibouti, as you said, in my second homeland. I have never felt at home in another country as much as I do when I am here in Djibouti. I spent almost 10 years in Djibouti, the best years of my life, but also the best years of my diplomatic training. I have always said as an Ethiopian diplomat that the relation between Djibouti and Ethiopia are fundamental, and if we do not pass, it is a test for Ethiopian diplomacy, which we will not succeed in countries elsewhere. Djibouti welcomed me, Djibouti trained me, and showed me that you could be an ambassador of a neighboring country as a woman, and I saw the progress made in this area. As I always told that we did not use all our potential so far, and we need multi-sectorial relation, and we know that we can count on Djibouti at any time. Your press release, Mr. President, speaks a lot and could not have expected better from Djibouti. I bring you greeting from Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, from the government and the Ethiopian people, your brother and sister from Ethiopia. And I am all the more honored to be here ahead, the day after a victory that we were able to have from the operation to maintain the constitutional order of the Tigray region in Ethiopia.
The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, underlined the historical links, the common history showing satisfactions with the close and privileged relations between the two countries.
Nous accueillons avec un grand plaisir notre ami, notre sœur, Sahle Work Zewde, présidente de la République fédérale démocratique d'Éthiopie voisine.
We are pleased to welcome our friend, our sister, the President of the neighboring Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, on an official visit to a country that is dear to her and with which she has been working to help consolidate. I think that all the pleasure of receiving you in Djibouti is ours. We want to show her what has changed in Djibouti during this long period, the feelings of friendship and fraternity that we, for both countries, can continue to strengthen. The relations of multi-sectors shows our complementary also that we can say today, welcome among us, among our Djiboutian brothers and sisters.
A questions and answer session opened with the President and the President of Ethiopia and the President of Djibouti, speaking on the impact of federal government operation on the Renaissance Dam negotiation, and she said that the negotiations will not impact by the conflict in the Tigray region. The negotiation will continue because the only way to find the solution for the dam is only by the negotiations. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, intervened on the victory of the force of the federal government and the restorations of constitutional order in the Tigray region.
Bon, à Djibouti, suivi cette affaire de la région du Tigray.
We have in Djibouti followed this case of the Tigray region and the actions of ETPLF, and we reacted from the beginning by saying that what interests us is the union of Ethiopia, and we were convinced that the Prime Minister is the man who must achieve, strengthen, and restore order and unity of the country. I think history has proven us right, because a group that tries to impose itself throughout the country cannot win, because territorial integrity, unity, respect for the Constitution are founding and indispensable element for all countries that want to move forward that want to exist. So I think we were right. The Ethiopian forces have restored it by taking control of the whole region, not just the capital.
Prenant le contrôle de la région dans son ensemble, hein, parce que ce n'est pas seulement la capitale.
The polio vaccination campaign began in the Obok region, and launching ceremony of the national polio vaccination campaign was held at the medical center of Obok region. This urging headed by the governor of Obok regions and witnesses participations the event. They organized sensibilizations and orientations in the different classes in Obak region. On continental news, more than 400,000 people have died from COVID-19 in Europe, despite hopes for a vaccine that is becoming clearer. Authorities are fighting with the contaminations, curfews and masks to avoid the worst with the onset of winter. The most affected country in the European Union is France, has recorded more than 48,000 contamination per day in the past week, and the Paris region health authorities say that 92% for its intensive care capacity is occupied. Here we arrive at the end of this news edition. Thank you for watching. As have a pleasant evening. Goodbye.